So by this point, you might be aware that the meeting between Trump and Mamdani has been one of the most controversial in recent times at the White House. And well, I made a very thorough video on my body language guide channel about that meeting. It was almost 45 minutes long. I'm going to do a summary right now in this channel. Remember that right now you are in the Power Pundit, my channel dedicated to American politics. In this video, I'm going to do a summary of this, and especially this moment that everybody was talking about. But perhaps the most important of all the exchanges of Mamdani and Trump that day.
I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Mr. President.
So again, the body language guy, I did a complete breakdown of their body language, not only of this, but the whole meeting. It was a very thorough. But what I wanted to make it clear is, well, why was Trump behaving like this? Because we have all this background of they calling each other names, Trump calling him a communist lunatic, Mamdani calling him a despot, a fascist as well. And so what happened here? My idea is that, well, they had this meeting. This is the thing, my theory about this, my commentary about this. My theory is that they had this meeting behind closed doors before this press conference, of course. And Trump said, well, you know what? This is very easy. You need my help to fix New York or for whatever you need about New York. I'm pretty sure that Trump, let's say, was very polite about everything, was charming as he could be, and maybe Mamdani was confused about that. So, okay, we can unite around what we love, which is New York City in this case. And when Trump goes to this, when Trump behaves like this, like, I don't mind being called a fascist, I want to help you. He said that, I am the first one who's going to cheer for you if you do things right for New York City. I hope that I think that you could do a great job. People were asking Trump about him calling Mamdani a communist. Oh, I think that he could be, maybe he could have this progression from, like I did, he said, from 2016 on his first term to right now, who was doing great. Maybe he can have this progression. It was a lot of things. I think that Trump was essentially presenting Mamdani and himself as allies, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be okay for those who voted for Mamdani, because you know that Mamdani, a lot of his campaign was based on weaponizing Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. Yeah, basically telling people that he was the anti-Trump warrior that was going to save not only New York, but the whole United States from this despot, this fascist that was going bananas at the White House. But it turns out that if Trump portrays himself as an ally who wants to help Mamdani and even admires him from coming from like an underdog from zero to winning the mayoral election, then you can imagine how pissed could those voters be about, oh, then maybe Mamdani and Trump were on it all along, because that's what it looks. That's what it looks. So I use the word defang. Trump essentially defanged Mamdani not only in the, in the rhetoric in which that he was asked the following day. I'm going to do an analysis of that interview. He was asked the following day on an interview about, okay, you still think that Trump is a fascist or a despot? And he answered without using those words. I haven't changed my stance, but I want to make sure to work together on what we agree on. That's it. As in, he didn't say yes, he didn't say no, he hasn't changed his stance. technically he still thinks that Trump is a fascist or a despot, but at the same time, Trump was very clear. He said, I have been called worse things than a despot, and I don't mind being called a fascist. So it's basically disarming, defanging Sora Mamdani's rhetoric about that and making Mamdani's voters really to scratch their heads what is going on here. And the other aspect of this is that by saying repeatedly that he's going to help Mamdani do whatever his plans are to New York City to the full extent of his administration, Trump wants to help Mamdani. In the event that Mamdani fails, and if he is a democratic socialist, he most likely will, because socialism is not going to work, then it would be harder to blame Trump for that, because Trump said that he wanted to help him. How can you blame somebody who actively wants to help you and smiles and says that he's proud of you and your achievement and what you're about to do in New York City, and he would like to be mayor of New York City as well? That's what Trump said. And if for any reason Mamdani does things well, I always have not socialism, other things, and they work out well for New York City, then people would also say, okay, you were backed by the Don himself. The Don said that he was going to help you. So yes, it was essentially not only destroying that rhetoric of Mamdani as the anti-Trump, not anymore, they're allies. And if Mamdani F's up, he would have a harder time saying, I need to blame Donald Trump. Because even if the topic of ICE, they agreed that they want a safe New York City, and most important, that those criminals have to be taken away from New York City in one way or another. They even agreed on that. So again, I think that this was a master move from Donald Trump, doing the complete opposite that everybody thought. That's what this was packed with. The journalists more than ever. People thought that this was going to be a meltdown. That when Zelensky that first time at the Oval Office, it didn't happen. It was the complete opposite. And I mentioned, as Scott Adams said, that Trump outsoared Sora Mamdani, because like Mamdani was in this New York City topic, he is basically the most famous, the one who is attracting all the attention, and basically Trump neutralized that attention. It's spectacular to see how that works, but that indeed works. Now, where do we go from here? Let's see what happens when Mamdani finally assumes power. But right now, he is very busy trying to raise $4 million for the transition. I don't know if he's going to make it, but let me know what you think about this in the comments. Remember that you're in the Power Pundit, my American politics channel. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. Much love and bliss.